Welcome back to Pack Mentality, and today we have a special guest with us. We have Shauna. Shauna, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How are you?
Red Wolf member. How long have you been with us?
Just over 2 years, I think.
Really? That's it? I feel like you've been here for at least 4 for some reason.
No, only 2. Took me a long time to join.
Maybe it's because you come all the time. I always say that to people. Like whenever I see them a lot, I always assume they've been a member for a lot longer, which is funny. Man, 2 years.
Yeah.
And you made some massive progress. So really excited to hear your side of your fitness journey today and where you've started and where you plan to go. So first off, let's just talk about you. Let's get to know you a little bit. What would you say? Oh, sorry. No, that question's too deep, too early. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Let's talk family. So you have brothers, sisters. Tell us about your family a little bit.
I have 2 brothers. One's in college. He's graduating this year. And the other one is a boat mechanic. I'm the oldest, and the only girl. So yeah, and my 2 parents, everybody lives here locally. So I see them a lot.
Okay, that's awesome. Very convenient. So you grew up the oldest and you're the only girl. So tell us how that was like growing up.
I don't know. I always played soccer, right? So I had that to stick to, and we were a very sports-driven family, so they played baseball too, so I was pretty involved with going to their games and supporting them as well. They came to my games as well. So my parents were always very supportive too of like physical activity and getting out there as well.
Okay, that's awesome. How many years apart are you from your brothers?
9 and 7 years.
Oh, okay. So quite some time.
Yeah.
Interesting. So did they ever see you more as like an authority figure than a sister?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Sister, yeah.
Oh, just a sister. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because it's funny. It's because my sister's 7 years older than me, so I always kind of saw her as more of like the authority figure than a true sister. But that's just me, I guess.
Yeah. My mom's around a lot, so
Okay.
yeah, she takes the authority over.
Okay, awesome. So you played soccer. I know you played soccer at UC Irvine. Dang, very impressive. So what age did you start playing soccer?
Probably like 5 years old.
Oh, really? That early?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So I played ever since I was 5 years old. Played ASO and then went through the club program. I actually went to junior college before I went to UC Irvine. I played at Santiago Canyon College
Okay.
for 2 years and then transferred to UC Irvine and played there for my last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have any other aspirations to go beyond that?
No.
You were done after that?
Yeah, just different for female athletes to pursue professional careers, I feel like. You know, I did the whole athletic thing, and I think I was ready to start working and, getting an education and being serious about that.
That's awesome. So what did you major in when you were at UCI?
UC Irvine, I majored in public health policy, and I only chose that because that's what I had enough credits to get into from junior college to get into UC Irvine. So it's not like I was passionate about that. But,
Okay.
I felt like going into college, nobody knows what they want to major in. So I was like, okay, I can play soccer there and, get in under this. That sounds good.
Yeah, 100%. What's so funny is that I majored in communication and I ended up going right into fitness. So I should have done like kinesiology or something. But it's kind of funny now.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of using that degree.
Yeah, everything's applicable.
Yeah, which is funny. Okay, fantastic. And then what did you end up doing after college?
After college, I actually worked for a family business while I was in junior college, and during my time at UC Irvine. So I was there, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in the family industry, which is packaging. So I went to go to school again. I got a master's at Chapman in food science, and I chose food science because my fiance Jeff, his mom and dad are in the food industry. They've retired now. But his mom did research and development for she made pet treats, like cat and dog treats.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so she made formulas for like Milk-Bone and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I was like, that's super interesting, and everybody needs to eat always, right? So I was like, I'll get a master's in that. So I went there for 2 years, got my degree, and then I was still at the packaging company with my family, and I said, hey guys, I'm gonna graduate soon. If you would like me to stay, I'll, make you a good offer. If not, I'm gonna go use my degree. So they made a good offer, so I'm still in packaging.
You're so you say, I was expecting like, yeah, I made this huge transition. Is it okay? So that's cool though. They made you a good offer, and so you're still in packaging. So what can you tell us more about that?
I am the director of operations at a company called New Indie Packaging. It's funny because one of our other members from Red Wolf, Dayton, just joined in my company as well. So now we get to spend even more time together.
Nice. That's
It's
really cool.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my day is never the same. Every day is like a new problem or a new puzzle I have to solve.
Mhm.
I have 3 facilities that I work out of in Cerritos, Ontario, and La Mirada. Um, so, I get to see different people and, work on different projects. So it makes me, busy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what specifically do you do? Like what's like your number one thing that you would say your job
Oh,
for your job?
right now I'm working heavily with scheduling operations, in the plant, like the machines in the plant and anything going outbound and inbound on trucks.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
That's awesome. And what kind of packaging is it for? Is it like general packaging or is it for anything specific?
We make boxes. So actually um our company is like integrated, so we actually see the life to death of a box. So we recycle material, we make paper, then it goes to our corrugator, we make the sheets, and then it comes to our box plants and we convert it into a box. So our customers are people like Skechers, Under Armour, FabFitFun, if you've heard of those
See?
subscriptions, stuff like that. So
Wow.
a lot of stuff you get in the mail. Sometimes if you flip the box over and you see a BMC or a stamp on the box, it sometimes says New Indie Packaging
Okay.
or our customers.
Interesting. Wow. Well, learned something new about you today. That's really cool. Awesome. Let's kind of move into what you like to do for fun. So, would you say, now that you're working a lot, you do CrossFit on top of that. What else do you like to do for fun?
Well, it's interesting you ask that because before I came to CrossFit, I didn't really have like a group of friends that I hung out with all the time. But now that I joined in a short amount of time, I feel like I've met like a really good group of friends. So I love to come to the gym almost every day. And we do fun things together, like play pickleball or, go grab food to eat or, just like being around them.
No, that's awesome. So, would you say pickleball is like your big recreational thing outside of the gym, or is there anything else?
I don't even know if I have a big recreational thing.
Okay.
So I come to the gym a lot.
Yeah, the gym is your recreational thing. I like that. Me too. That's my recreational thing too. And then just hanging out with friends, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and family too, yeah.
okay, friends and family. Okay. Awesome. And does your whole family works in that business too, right?
My dad does, yeah. My dad and I think I have one cousin left in the industry, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Before it was, like, a lot more,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what made them want to move on to other things?
Um, like retiring or,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that
The
type of
the
stuff.
the usual stuff. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then in terms of what you want to do in the future, then this could be anything, but is there anything that you're excited about that is in your near future?
Mm, I don't know about, maybe, like, starting a family in the near future, and I've been engaged for over a year now, so I should probably work on that.
Yeah.
So, getting married, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Awesome. Very cool, very cool. Let's start talking fitness stuff now. Okay, awesome. So I know that, it took you a very long time to join the gym. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny that you actually knew people at the gym for like almost like years before you even joined, which is funny.
Yeah.
So what made you finally say that like, yes, now is the time to join Red Wolf?
So before I came to Red Wolf, I was going to a personal trainer, and it worked for a while, but, I think I was just getting tired of it. It was just the same thing, and it was just a one-on-one thing, right? It wasn't like, you know, a class with people to push you, and, it just felt like I was showing up and just going through the motions. So I think I needed something different. So after I did that, I thought maybe I could do like Peloton or run, right? I could do that on my own. I don't have to pay for it. Um, I did that for a while, and then I started talking to Jeff, my fiance. He's a member at Red Wolf. I think he's been a member for 10 years.
Yeah, over 10 years, I think.
So I talked to him about, possibly joining, and he got really excited, obviously. Before that time, I had only dropped in for workouts like Murph, probably like the worst and hardest workouts.
Yeah, probably the worst one that he to be exposed to for CrossFit, but that's okay.
So to be honest, like those workouts kind of deterred me. I was like, I'm not like you, Jeff. I don't like to do 100 pull-ups at a time. I can't do that. So it took me a very long time, and it's really funny. I thought everybody at the gym was like, a Matt or a Caitlin or a Jeff that are just like beasts at working out.
I appreciate the compliment.
And Jeff actually, right before the week before I came, he pulled up the Instagram and he's like, "Look at all these people. They're just regular people. You can do it too. You can modify. You can change it up. If you can't do something, they'll provide different exercises for you, so that you still get a good workout." So you guys had like a bring a friend week coming up, and I said, "Oh, maybe I'll like wait till then." It was like 3 weeks away. I saw it on your Instagram, and Jeff's like, "No, you're gonna join way before that." So he signed me up actually, and yeah.
Awesome. Dang, look at that. It's come full circle. Yeah, well, we love having you. And yeah, you fit right in with everybody, which is great. Was there ever a moment where you kind of like, wow, like why did I wait so long?
Yeah, actually, because I had a soccer background, so when I was playing soccer, all the workouts are prescribed for you, right? You just show up and somebody tells you what to do. So I felt after that, time, I felt kind of lost. Like there's nobody telling me what to do. I have to actually figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, once I joined, I was like, wow, this isn't as hard as I made it out to be.
Hmm.
It's really fun to work out with other people that have similar goals to you or, are stronger than you. So you can have somebody to chase or, somebody's chasing you. It's really helpful.
No, that's awesome. Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about kind of like your past fitness experience. You were working one-on-one with a trainer. So how long did you work with them for?
Um, I probably went there over 5 years.
Wow, 5 years with the same trainer the whole time?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, that's a long time to stay with someone.
Yeah.
Dang. And at what point did you start to plateau?
Um, I don't know, I probably did 2 years of going through the motions. I was just, showing up after work and just going through it. I was tired and yeah,
Hmm. Interesting.
yeah.
Well, what was the main factor that where you were just like, what was the main thing that made you want to leave that?
Well, I think the difference that I see between what we're doing now at Roto Wolf versus what I was doing personal training, it was just like kind of like static exercises, right?
Mm,
So I think you guys focus on like compound movements and mixing it up all the time. And with the personal trainer, it was kind of um, just like the same thing. And, working out on your own is very different than working out with a group of people, I think.
yeah.
So I came from a team environment, with soccer. So I think the team environment helps me.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then how long were you trying to do the running and the Peloton stuff?
Um, I don't know, probably like 6 months.
Oh, okay. So it was a pretty fast turnaround. So you're like, you got over that pretty quickly then, huh?
Yeah. And sitting on the Peloton, you can go as easy as you want, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody's going to really tell you, like, hey, you need to work harder.
Exactly. Yeah. There's really no accountability because you don't even have to turn it on in the first place. You're like, it's there. I'll use it when I need it.
Yeah. Or you could do like a 10-minute bike ride or an hour, right? So I'd probably choose the 10-minute one.
I would choose the 10-minute every time. I'm not going to sit on that thing for an hour. I mean, my butt cheeks wouldn't agree with that. Okay, fantastic. Uh, how are you feeling physically and mentally before you started?
Before I started, I was pretty nervous. And physically, I felt, um, I don't know, okay. I wasn't as strong as I am now. But I figure I'd just, get in there and try.
Hmm. So you were pretty nervous.
Yeah, I was very nervous.
How'd you get over that?
Jeff just told me that I was going to go, and that was it.
Yeah, he was like, "You're gonna go, Shauna."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so. That was a really good impression of Jeff, by the way.
Yeah. But I was really nervous, and I was like, all these people are like way better than me. And, they look like they know what they're doing. I had never really done, like, snatches before, right? So the first time I did that, I was, like, watching people, um, but, the coaches and the other people around me definitely helped.
No, that's awesome. When you, how long did it take for you to realize that that you're like, "Oh, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be?"
Probably, like, within the first 2 weeks,
Oh, really?
like
That fast?
yeah,
You're just kinda like, "Oh, okay, this is cool. This is normal."
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool. Interesting. And what surprised you the most about training at Red Wolf?
Mm, I think how nice the people are. Like I said, it was very intimidating coming into, knowing somebody like Jeff and thinking like everybody is, as strong as him and tries as hard as him. I guess we all try hard, um, but everybody's so nice and encouraging, right? When you accomplish a goal that people see you've been working hard at, people are happy for you.
Mhm.
So I think that's really good.
No, that's awesome. Was there ever a time where you wanted to quit?
Rudolph?
Or just quit fitness in general?
Um, I don't think quit, because, soccer instilled something in me, like, I think I'm always gonna try to be active, when I can, um, but it really helps me mentally too. A long day at work and then being able to come to 4:30 class, like, if I didn't come to 4:30 class, I just told Dane the other day, I'd probably be way angrier, you know?
Really? I would hate to see Shauna.
Not angry, but just, the stress of work or the day-to-day, being able to come to, like, the afternoon class, it's just like, "Okay, I can relax now," and let the stress out in this workout.
No, 100%. Yeah, I think there's so many hidden benefits to fitness and the stress relief and
Mm.
just being able to move around and get the endorphins going is such an underrated thing
Oh, yeah.
for your mental health.
I have a sedentary job, right? So I can sit there for 6 hours straight, and just sit all day and not even know or think about, like, "Hey, I should go walk around."
Mhm.
Right? So coming to class for 1 hour a day and then doing build and burn after is really helpful.
Yeah, it gets all that activity, and yeah, I don't think people realize, especially these days, on how easy it is with remote work and just how jobs are in general, about how inactive people are
Yeah.
in terms of step counts, especially. Do you get about 10,000 steps a day, just out of curiosity?
I don't even look at my steps, to
Okay,
be honest,
yeah,
but
I was just
I'm
curious.
gonna guess probably not.
Probably not. Okay,
Yeah.
but that's why you get that extra work in at the gym. So you did the hour long, and then you do the build and burn on top of that. So that way you gotta get that all that activity in. Okay,
Yeah.
well that makes perfect sense. Okay, awesome. And what's one thing that you accomplished with us that you never thought you could?
Um, Losing weight.
Okay.
Yeah. I did that carb-cycling, program. Did you guys do it last year or
I
the
think we did
year
2 years
before?
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I think the first year I joined. Um, I saw you guys coming out with it. I was a little hesitant. Was it 8 weeks or 6 weeks?
I wanna say it was 8.
8 weeks. I think that sounds right.
Yeah,
Um,
because it was 4, yeah, because it was, I'm pretty sure it was 8.
but I signed up for it, and you guys had, Build and Burn to go along with it for free, during that time. Um, so that's how I started doing Build and Burn. But I went through that program, and I really learned how to eat, like and thinking back on it, if I knew how to eat when I was playing soccer, I probably could have been a lot stronger.
Mm,
But I never realized that eating more could lead to weight loss, right? If you eat the more of the right things, then you're losing weight. I think there's a misconception with eating, right? Like when people are trying to diet, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat salad and um, drink a lot of water."
mhm.
Um, but you know, protein is definitely the key. And I learned that with the cycling, and it definitely helped. Again, working with a group of people that were also trying to do the same thing. Um, so I was really proud of that and thankful that you guys put that on. So I could show myself like, hey, you can do this.
Yeah, yeah. The carb cycling is very effective and
Mm.
something that I've been toying around with bringing back right before the summer. So we might bring that back. We'll see. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of that too because it still allows you to. It's not like an extreme diet, which is nice.
No,
It's very flexible.
yeah, and it's pretty accessible for everybody. And I liked how you guys did like 3 different phases of it, I think the first phase was very low carb, high protein. The second one was like introducing a little bit of carbs, and then the third phase was a little bit more balanced so that, you could see the difference and see which phase your body was more favorable to.
Mhm.
So that was nice too.
Good, awesome. Well, I'm glad that was helpful. How much weight did you lose on that challenge?
I think like 16 pounds.
Wow, 16 pounds in 8 weeks. That's fantastic. And, ever since then, you've kept it off.
Yeah, trying to. Yeah.
And then, have you put on some muscle and some strength since you've been there with us?
Yeah, and I've still stuck with the build and burn since then. Dayton and I try to do it, you know, 3 to 4 times a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, has that been helpful for you?
Oh, yeah. I think, with in terms of building muscle and getting stronger, I think, doing those, and it definitely complements all the workouts that you guys give us, so that's good. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, no, and yeah, that's something that we take great pride in because before Bill and Burn, we used to have just individualized program design, and it was at a higher cost. And then we realized a lot of people wanted extra programming from us, and um, not only we wanted to make something that was more economically available, but we just noticed that the majority of people, with the exception of people who wanted to compete at a high level, pretty much needed to do the same thing and then cohesively after class. And also we wanted to bring that community aspect
Yeah.
back in rather than have everyone doing their own separate things. It just made more sense. Like, hey, let's just have one program. That way we can lower the price and batch
Right.
it. And then that way it's more accessible to more people and be more helpful. And then also, like, I mean, the majority of us all need to work on the same thing anyways.
Yeah, and some of the workouts we do, they're like 12 minutes, right? And you're like, "Oh, that was it." Obviously, they're super hard.
Mhm.
But the build and just adds that extra, that you need.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because, yeah, there's only so much we can fit in an hour
Right.
in a class, and we can't have, touch points on everything in one day, unfortunately. So, and it's nice because when we do build out the build and burn, we're able to monitor the volume, the frequency, and the intensity to make sure that we're actually still making progress. It's complementing classes, so that way people aren't spinning their wheels, kind of doing whatever after
Yeah.
class. Because people used to do that too. They were like, "Oh, what should I do after class?" I'm like, "Oh, you could do this. I'll complement it." And I'm like, "Well," and then it was like we had individual people over here doing that. I'm like, "Well, we just combine these two,
Yeah.
and then it'll just be easier."
I
And
think
then
that's probably what I love the most about this gym. Like, I don't have to think about anything. I just show up and you guys tell me what to do.
yeah, me too, because you know, I do still write a lot of customized training programs for both my one-on-one clients and reviewing all the class programming and reviewing all the build and burn. So the last thing I want to do is write my own workouts.
Yeah.
I do write some on my own, but that's to experiment for the future workouts. And so I'm like put myself in the lab and I'll do that. But when I show up to class, I'm a member. I show up and I just want to turn my brain off and not think, and it's good to go from there. Plus, it gives me feedback. Be like, was this good? Was this bad? Because we still make mistakes too. Because we still want to experiment with pushing the limits and trying new things, and we'll figure out what works and doesn't work by just implementing it.
Yeah. Yeah, your programming is really good. And Jeff and I, we live in Cyprus, right? So we're traveling like 30 minutes to get here. So that's how good it is, right? We could go to a neighborhood gym around us, but it's the community and the programming and the people that keep us coming every day.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. Yeah, that is quite a commute from Cyprus. So we appreciate you guys coming, making that trek all the way out here just to work out. So that means a lot. Um, what would you tell someone who thinks that they need to get in shape first before they start any kind of fitness journey?
I would ask them what their definition of in shape is, right? Because they probably can't tell me what that looks like. So just like Jeff pushed me, you just have to come in and start from somewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of like, well, I'll eat when I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
So let me eat before I eat, or let me get clean before I shower.
Yeah.
It's something I hear all the time too, and it's hard getting over that hump. So do you think, just in your opinion, do you think it's kind of a smokescreen where someone's making an excuse, or do you think they legitimately think that?
Probably a smokescreen. Just like I thought before. I thought I wasn't in shape to come to this gym at first. But you don't realize that like there's modifications and you can lower the weight if it's too heavy, or, use a different type of equipment. So there's a lot of different things. You just have to show up, I think.
Okay, awesome. And let's say you could go back in time and have like a 5-minute conversation with Shauna right before, if she's like, with you up in the air and deciding whether or not you want to do this, what would you tell her?
I think Jeff shouldn't have taken me to Murph as the only workouts at the gym. You know, maybe like a more mellow workout, and maybe more often,
Yeah.
so that I could see like, hey, this is like a normal thing that people do every day.
Right, right, right.
But I think like I've accomplished some pretty crazy stuff. I was just thinking about it yesterday. I'm afraid of heights, right? And we did rope climbs yesterday in the build and burn, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm up here just doing rope climbs. Or I've been working on kipping handstand push-ups lately. And honestly, I can't believe I could do that either. So, we do some pretty amazing things here.
Yeah. It's cool too because, I come from, an athletic background too. So, that's something I was missing too. I like how you brought that up earlier about how you were missing like that group atmosphere, how you were missing structure because you're so used to just being told what to do and then you just follow through, right? It's kind of just programmed into your brain, especially when you played soccer since you were 5. And so I'm the same way. It's like I need to be in a group setting. I need to be around other people who are like me, and because that's the only way I'll do it. Because even when like I'll travel, or if it's like the weekend and I can't work out with class, and I even go into my own gym and do my own thing, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the same.
Yeah. When people are in there encouraging you, like saying, hey, you could do it, or do one more, you bust it out and you do one more.
Yeah, it's so funny, and the environment matters so much,
Yeah.
and it's just something that you don't realize. And a lot of times, I think people also struggle with motivation, and then a key thing I tell them is you just got to change your environment. If you put yourself into a motivating environment with motivated people, suddenly motivation becomes very easy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on? What's your take on that on
Um,
environment?
I agree with you. I don't think I could do 90% of these workouts on my own. In a solitary environment, I think it would be really hard. I would definitely not be cognizant of the time caps at all. I'd probably be able to finish the workout, but it'd probably take me at least 2 hours. Um, so yeah.
Me too. Me too. If the time caps up, make me rethink my choices so I don't PR in bad decisions.
Yeah, or, nobody's watching, so I'm not gonna squat as heavy,
Yeah.
But, if Dayton's standing next to me and she's, lifting a certain weight, I have to lift what she's lifting,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like it just kind of just brings out that,
Yeah,
that the healthy competitive atmosphere
yeah.
to where it's like we push each other, but in a good way, not to where
Yeah.
it's like I want to crush you, but I'm going to push you to where because I know you're capable of more.
Yeah, and I like how you said it's healthy, and I totally agree with that. It's not, like, malicious at all, the competition in the gym. Everybody wants to see everyone else succeed.
Yeah. No, 100%. And, we really do our best to root for everyone because, like, I mean, we've all started from ground zero.
Yeah.
I think that's a big misconception, too, of why people think they need to get in shape is because they think that someone like me or you has always been in shape, and that's not true at all, dude. I grew up super skinny. I, I was terrified of the gym as well. In high school, I wouldn't even work out in the weight room because I was so scared of all the football players. And then now it's like, I think I'm the only one in high school.
It works out. See?
I know.
Tables turn.
It's how the turntables have turned.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Um, if you, I asked that question. If you go back and give your advice, but if you had to give other people advice on, let's say, on how to change that environment. Let's say they're stuck right now and they do kind of know that they need some motivation or a change of environment. What's one small step or one small piece of advice you would give someone?
Mm, I think if you're on the edge of, like, joining some gym, either this gym or another gym, I think you should just do it. Like, the worst thing you're gonna do is show up and you may not like it, but I always think, sometimes I don't wanna work out, right? But I've never left a workout and said, "Wow, I don't feel better," right? So even if you think you're not gonna like it, I think you're definitely gonna feel better after whatever you do,
Yeah,
right?
no,
And the
100%.
more you go, the more used to it you get, and I think you'll end up liking it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think That's a great way to put it too. Is like the more frequently you do something, the more kind of exposure you get to it. It's it's kind of like exposure therapy. Like if you're scared of something, just expose yourself to it so much to the where it just becomes your norm.
Yeah.
You know, because like same thing with me in the gym. Like I was terrified of it, and I just made myself go. And then I remember being super intimidated because I think there was like some power lifters over in the squat rack, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how to what's a squat. And then over time, with my muscle and fitness magazines, because we didn't have YouTube back then, I slowly learned how to do it. And what's funny is those powerlifting dudes were actually super nice to me, and they showed me how to do some stuff, and they were like, hey, no, you can do it. And they're like,
Yeah.
and then so you realize that all these kind of sometimes the most intimidating people in the gym will be the most helpful
Oh, yeah.
because they are experienced and they know what it's like to be new because everyone started, from somewhere. So they were never that fit too. So at one point,
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Uh, what does being a part of Red Wolf mean to you now?
Um, what does it mean? Well, I think it means a lot because I come here like almost every day. I couldn't imagine not coming here now. Like I said, it helps with my mental, um, the mental side. It helps me physically. I see my friends a lot. Um, even Jeff is my fiance is a fireman, right? So I don't see him all the time. So now that we go to the gym together, we see each other more because we're spending time together here after work or before work. Um, so it helps out a lot.
No, 100%. When it comes to specifically your mental health, can you go more into detail on that?
Um, I just think we're so focused day to day on like doing our job or, taking care of kids if you have kids. Um, but this 1 hour is like solely for yourself, right? Where you can just block everything out and say like, I have Apple Watch and I put my phone on silent. Like this is a 1 hour out of the day. I tell people, do not call me. Don't call me between 4:30 and 5:30. I will not answer you.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it's important to, take at least 1 hour a day for yourself. And this definitely helps.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I agree. I like what you said earlier too about how you've never regretted a workout or you've never felt better after a workout. And I can't tell you how many times that I've had a bad day, including today where I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to work out. I was kind of having a crappy day. And then, you just make yourself do it because you're like, I'm going to feel better after this. Just get
Yeah.
through this hour, do it, give as much effort as you can. Doesn't have to be max intensity, but just give it max effort. And then you'll feel better. And lo and behold, I felt better.
It's really interesting too because on the days I don't come here, if I say like I'm gonna take a rest day or something, I end up being more tired on those rest days where I don't come in than when I do come in.
Hmm.
I feel like it gives me more energy coming in.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you. It's really hard for me to take days off or to not do something physically active because, I don't know what it is. It's just it's about the blood flow to the brain and getting oxygen and being active. It's so funny how activity matters so much to the human body and
Yeah.
how inactive people are becoming, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I like at this gym too, everybody's not focused on their physical appearance, right? Like obviously we like to look good. Um, but it's really a lot about like getting better and being stronger and, having good form. So I think that's really good too.
yeah, no, 100%. And that's what kind of drew me to CrossFit in the first place because I got so bored of doing bodybuilding workouts. Like I've got tired of back and buys, chest and tries, leg day. And then I was just like, I need something else. Like, and I hadn't even been working out that long. I think it was only like 2, 3 years into working out, like seriously working out. And I was like, man, I can't sustain this. This is so boring. And then I found CrossFit on a Google search in 2007 when Google was new and CrossFit was super new. It was very hard to find. And I remember trying the workouts and being like, yeah, this is it because I want fitness. I want to train for things outside the gym and
Yeah.
be physically fit and also have fun doing it and save time as well.
Yeah.
So that way I'm not spinning my wheels for 2 hours in the gym trying to hit a certain body part. Do you feel the same way in terms of efficiency? Do you feel like you get more in 1 hour or maybe sometimes an hour and a half with build and burn than you would in a traditional gym?
Oh yeah, 100%. I probably, again, I have the Apple Watch, so I would turn that on because if you don't turn it on and track your workout, it doesn't count, right?
100%.
So if I was working out at like 24-hour fitness, I'd probably burn 200 calories. But if, at Red Wolf, I'm in the hour, I could get like, maybe 400.
Mm,
So,
wow. That's a lot of calories. Nailed it. Very cool. Uh, let's talk about the future. What's your next goal and how are we helping you get there?
my next goal probably would be to start a family, maybe soon. So I see someone like Caitlin, you guys had 3 kids and she looks fantastic, right? So, I hope that I can have the same journey, and, keep working out, you know, during if I get pregnant soon or, and then bouncing back after.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. Uh, how important is it for you to have some sort of a role model like that? To have someone who's done it and is kind of ahead of you to where you have an example?
Um, I think it's really important that because then you can see it's doable, right? And she's somebody that I do look up to and I can ask her questions. To be honest, I was super intimidated by her when I came in as well. I would be like, oh my gosh, it's squat day. Caitlin's gonna watch me. I don't want her to watch me.
Yeah.
She she gave like really good tips and you know, she is someone I look up to.
Okay,
And
awesome.
Kim too.
Yeah, no, Kim
Yeah.
for sure. Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, it's nice to have those role models for you and for me too. I look up to Caitlin too because and she does a great job of pushing me and holding me to a high standard. And I think that's something that's severely lacking in the fitness industry is having some sort of standards or at least elevating the standards. And because that's part of the reason why I started the gym in the first place is because I just saw that the standards for quality, both in coaching, how members were treated, because I've been in the fitness industry full time since I was 20 years old. And so I've seen a lot of bad things and I was like, I'm going to find a way to do it right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what your opinion is on that because I know you have experience outside of Red Wolf, but
Mhm.
is there anything in particular that we do that's different than other experiences you've had in fitness?
Um I well, the group classes I've taken before, they are all like different stations, right? So we're working on different groups of people are working on different things. I like hear how we're all doing the same thing at the same time. So you do have that competitive aspect. And you can, compete with each other and push each other. I think that's good.
No, that's awesome. Fantastic. Uh, and now finally, before we kind of wrap things up here, what other results have you seen with us here at Red Wolf?
Results? Well,
Or I guess I could rephrase that. What's the most proudest thing that you've accomplished with us at Red Wolf? Other than, obviously you lost the 16 pounds during the carb-cycling challenge.
I think just being open to trying new things.
Mm.
Like some of the things you guys do looks scary, like handstand walking, but seeing other people do it makes me want to try. So trying new movements and the gymnastic stuff. Eventually I want to get a bar muscle up. So
Nice.
I don't know how long that'll take, but seeing people like Scott Cabell getting his first pull up, it's super inspiring. So
Yeah, shout out to Scott.
yeah,
Shout out to Scott. We've been working on that for 8 months,
yeah,
and he finally got it. I'm so proud of him. So glad we did it, or he did it. I helped, but I mean, he's the one who did it. But
yeah,
yeah, that's definitely gonna go in my top 10 all time Red Wolf moments right there because he worked so hard to get that.
yeah,
I mean, he showed up day after day, and he kept working, and then now it's easy, which
yeah. And
is great.
even seeing him do rope climbs,
Hmm.
inspiring.
Yeah, 100%. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up here?
No, I just wanted to say, thank you to you and Caitlin for providing this environment for all of us to come work out in, have fun in, and, grow together, get stronger together. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, we love having you, Shauna, and we're really proud of everything you accomplished with us. So until next time, good luck, have fun. Nailed it.